We're back here as our coverage continues in New York on our other big story of the day, which came out of Washington, D.C., that hearing with three D.C. Circuit Court judges talking about Donald Trump's claim that he's immune from prosecution. Donald Trump was there today for the hearing. NewsNation's Joe Khalil was also at the courthouse earlier in the day. He's moved over to the White House now and joins us live from the North Lawn. Let's talk about this. What was the case that the Trump side made today in court trying to, make this case about immunity?
Yeah, so his attorneys, Donald Trump's attorneys, basically tried to argue that the trial that's coming up against him in March, which focuses on his alleged role in January 6th, his alleged trying to overturn the election results, that trial should just go away and should not happen at all. And their argument is that Donald Trump allegedly did those things while he was president in office and therefore shouldn't even be prosecuted because any president who's in office should have almost blanket immunity against alleged crimes and criminal prosecution. Now, they've tried to make that case before. A judge rejected it. The Supreme Court decided they were not even going to take it up. So they did appeal that decision, and that's how we got to today, is in the appeal. Now, one important caveat, Connell, his attorneys also said he should not be facing any immunity unless Congress impeaches him and convicts a president. We know Donald Trump was impeached, but the Senate didn't actually convict him. So that's their argument that they are trying to make right now. And I'll just let you hear a little bit of what his attorney said in court, sort of along those same lines.
If a president has to look over his shoulder or her shoulder every time he or she has to make a controversial decision and worry, after I leave office, if I go into jail for this, when my political opponents take power, that inevitably dampens the ability of the president.
And I'm not sure that the three-judge panel was buying that argument. They were throwing hypotheticals back at Trump's legal defense team, basically saying, very serious crimes they were alleging, in these hypotheticals, and saying, would you have immunity from those? It was a difficult case maybe to make. On the other side, the Department of Justice prosecutors saying, of course, no president has blanket immunity to commit crimes. So we're going to see moving forward how quickly these judges turn this decision around. Again, that trial coming up in March. So you'd imagine that in the next few weeks, we'd have some kind of ruling here. Yeah, that's the big thing, is the timing. And you're right, they did seem skeptical of the arguments. I was watching it as well earlier from the Trump side. You know what's interesting about this? We were mentioning how Trump himself was there today. We just had a report from Emily in Iowa. So, he wasn't on the campaign trail. He didn't have to be, though, right? He could have been campaigning. He didn't have to go to court today, did he? Absolutely not. This was totally voluntary that Donald Trump was in D.C. today for these proceedings. He could have been in Iowa, could have been in New Hampshire, but I think it indicates, Connell, that his legal strategy and his campaign strategy are really intertwined. We know that when he's facing criminal prosecution, his support, at least from his own base, tends to get stronger, not weaker. His poll numbers have gone up through these criminal proceedings. So it is certainly an important element of his campaign, and we heard him make a statement today after court that sounded a lot like what he's been saying on the campaign trail as well.
All right, Joe. Thank you. Joe Khalil back over at the White House. He was at the courthouse earlier today. Thank you, Joe. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.